Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and as you can see from the title, I'm going to be talking about crazy exes. Crazy. While I sip on this tea. And hopefully this story can reach somebody out there. Hopefully. That's the goal of me talking about it, but I'm going to tell you about my crazy ex. And I don't know if I want to talk about both, because I dealt with two crazy exes before my husband. And the first crazy ex, we're going to call him Mr. T. And the second one, we're going to call him Mr. H. We're not going to put no names out there, but yeah. And these guys, I met them before my husband. So this video is not about my husband. This is about my crazy exes. Okay, the first ex, I met him in high school. I was in class and he tried to talk to me, but I really wasn't feeling it or whatever like that, because I was like a good girl, like in school or whatever. I was a good girl and I wasn't into all of that stuff, boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, I was raised in the church, and like my mom, she didn't let us have like girlfriends and boyfriends. Like, we couldn't do stuff like that. We was like raised in like a religion church, like where they wear dresses every day, and like they don't believe in a lot of stuff. That's how I was raised. So, but he tried to talk to me and I wasn't for it, and then he kept on going and going and going and going. So I decided to say, yeah, start talking to him. So we started talking and stuff like that, and at first I wasn't feeling him like that, because I wasn't into boys like that, and I wasn't feeling him like that. But after a while I started really liking him. You know, after you spend some time with somebody, you start to like them, you start to care for them and everything like that. So I started to grow feelings for him, and he did too, as he say. But I was a virgin, you know. And like, he used to always pressure me and pressure me and pressure me into doing, you know what? And I'm like, no, I'm not trying to lose my V card. Please don't start ringing. It's like every time I want to try to record, my phone get to starting to do stuff. But it was like every time he tried to pressure me into losing my V card. And I'm like, no, come on, it's a fly. Oh my God. Anyway, he tried to pressure me to lose my V card, and I was like, no. Because guys, I had it set in my mind that I would never lose my V card until I get married. Like, that was the goal. Like, and not only that, I was always scared, because I always heard things like, oh, it hurts and this and this and that. So I always was scared to do it. So it wasn't like something that I was like interested in. It was like, okay, no, it's people talking about, oh, it's scary, this and this and that, it hurts and stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah, I'm straight on that. I don't want to be into all of that. So, but he used to always pressure me and pressure me and pressure me to do it. And I used to tell him that I don't want to do anything until I get married. Like, he was like, I'm gonna marry you and did this and that and stuff like that. And I was like, you don't know if you're gonna marry me. We still in high school, but we was in 12th grade or whatever, basically about to get ready to be graduating out of school or whatever. But I was like, you don't know what you're gonna do and stuff like that. He said, I love you, this and this and that. So I had told him that the only way I would lose my V card is when I turn 18, right? And I said, if you can't accept that, then we don't need to be together, because it seems like you only want to, gosh, it's a fly. It seems like you only want to talk to me because you want to, you know, do it or whatever and stuff like that. He was like, no, I care about you and this and that. It's okay. We can wait till you turn 18. Y'all, soon as I turned 18, this boy was like, okay, let's go, let's do it. And I'm like, golly, like, can you let a day go by? Like, at least a day go by? Come on, let's do it. You said when you turn 18, da, da, da. Like, pressure me to do it. And I just was like, okay, forget about it, I do it. So, y'all, I lost my V card in the worst place ever. Ooh, if I can rewind the cards, I will, and lose it to my husband. Because that was not romantic at all. First of all, we was sneaking, because we was in my mother's house, and we was sneaking it, and I hope my mom is not watching this video. Please, I hope she's not watching this video. But we were sneaking in the house downstairs, because see, we couldn't go upstairs because upstairs her room was like right there, so she would have seen us go right into the room. So we was downstairs, and I lost my V card downstairs on the floor on side the couch. How romantic is that? But you know, when you young and you dumb, you know, so, and I was young, so that's how I lost my V card with him. Just regret it till this day. I regret that till this day. But that's how I lost my V card to this guy or whatever. So after that, we still was together and stuff like that. Everything seemed cool. He always got me stuff. He was a person that always worked and stuff like that. And in high school, he did give me he kept me with a cell phone and things like that. And I was like, oh, maybe he do care about me because he got me material things, which is, that shouldn't be something that you worry about or see. You know, in a relationship, it should be more than material. But you know, when you're young, you just don't think about stuff like that. But I'm like, oh, he brought me this and he brought me that. He loves me and da-da-da-da-da and stuff like that. But as time going on, and I lost my V card to him, and we still together, like we was together for a long time. Things start going downhill. Like, I started noticing little things. Like, I had wound up, after I lost my V card, I wound up like, a couple of months after that, I wound up moving out my mom's house, and I wound up moving into his house with his mother, because she was okay with it. She felt like I was a good girl, and she was like, nothing wrong with you coming to stay with us, with my son. She really, really liked me. So I was staying there with him, and it was like things start going downhill. Like, he was always finding something to argue about, or he'll always be out late or not answering his phone calls. Then I wind up seeing that he had females in his phone, and I'm like, okay, what's really, really going on and stuff like that. And come to find out, he was talking to girls and stuff like that. So I confronted him about it. I'm like, okay, so this is what you're doing when you're not home or you're not answering the phone. You out messing around with other girls? And he was like, no, I'm not doing it. I said, so what is this? Because you know how we, look in the phone and and tell him about it and stuff like that. He was like, oh, I'm sorry, I won't do that again, and this and that, I love you, I don't want to lose you, because I had told him that I was going to leave. And he was like, I'm sorry, I don't want to lose you, this and that, I promise I won't do it again. You don't ever have to worry about me doing that again and stuff like that. So, when you're young, you're like, okay, you give him a second chance. Why did I give this boy a second chance? This boy went and did the same stuff over and over and over again. At this time, at this point, I was in love. So when you in love, you accept things, which is crazy, but you do. And when you're young, you be done. Like, for real. But I was so in love with him, and I'm like, okay, maybe he'll change and stuff like that. Maybe this will stop and maybe that'll stop. But no, it did not stop at all. It just kept going and going. And I stuck with him by his side and stuff. And I be arguing with him about it and stuff, and like, he just don't care. And next thing you know, he started hitting me. Like, when a guy just doing things that they don't got no business, when they start putting their hands on you, that's when you know a guy just do not care about you at all. When he start putting his hands on you, he do not care about you. So he started putting his hands on me and stuff like that, and we used to be fighting and stuff and all of that. And this was like constantly going on and on and on and on. And I used to tell some of my friends about the incident. And I didn't tell my mom too about it before, and she was like, you need to get out of that. You don't want to be in a relationship where a guy is putting their hands on you and harming you like that, because things can happen. So If you're a person and you're in a relationship and this relationship is going downhill and he is putting his hands on you, child, leave, run to the door, okay? Don't look back. You hear me? Don't look back. Because you never know, you might be in that casket or anything, you know? You just never know. People are crazy. You never know what they'll do. But one day, this like got me to the point like, I was like, I am too through. I am done. That is it. One day, we were driving and caught him again with the same stuff. Cheating, right? So I was telling him, let me out the car, let me out the car. He wouldn't let me out the car. I said, let me out the car right now, let me out the car. And he wound up pulling in the grocery parking lot, right? So soon as he was acting like he was gonna let me out. So as soon as I opened up the door and I stepped my foot out, one of my foot out, he started driving crazy, y'all. When I tell you, I didn't even get a chance to get all the way out the door. I'm like holding on to the door and he driving crazy like he trying to kill me or something like that. Like, it was just crazy. And I finally just let it go. And then I fell and I scratched up my leg and everything. And I'm telling you guys this because that day I could have lost my life. Like, that day I could have lost my life. But God spared me, or I had his angels watching over me and stuff like that, and nothing happened to me. All I had was bruises and scratches on my leg and stuff like that. And then he tried to come and say, oh, I'm sorry and stuff like that. And you know, I was too through. But you know, when you with somebody and you don't know how to leave that person, it was like one of them incidents, like I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I still was with him. And then like he still was doing the same stuff, and I used to be crying and stuff like that, and I'm like, he's never gonna change. And I'm talking to myself and I'm like, Sade, you know you need to leave. This relationship is so toxic and everything like that. You know you need to leave. You know you don't need to be in this relationship. Like, why is you still here? He does not care about you. And yes, guys, if the man is putting his hands on you, he do not care about you. Or if he's verbally abusing you, he does not care about you at all. So I'm like, why do you sit and stay in a relationship like this? Yeah, you love him, but is it worth your life? Like, really, just think about that. Is it worth your life? No, it's not. So he kept doing the same stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is not gonna get it. Like, he just not gonna change. So one day I just got my stuff, packed all my stuff, and I left. And he was like, where you at? What's going on? And da, da, da. I said, I'm done with you. I'm too through. I can't deal with this and that. I'm just over it. And then that was it. And he used to always try to go to my mom's house, try to talk to my mom and say, I realized that I'm sorry. She was a good girl and this and that. And it was too late. Like, they always try to say they sorry. I want to get things right when it's too late. Like, no. Don't even if they come to you and talk about, oh, I'm sorry, oh, I'm gonna do better, and this and that. No, don't even, just no. Quit. Run to the door. Don't look back. I'm telling you, because they do not change. They really don't. It's only rare cases that men do change, but who want to be putting up with getting beat on? You know? Don't nobody want to put up with that kind of stuff. So that was that. He tried to get back with me, calling friends and trying to get in touch with my friends and stuff like that. Like, no, I am too through, done with you. Toodles. And do you know he even tried to talk to one of my closest best friend, and she had let me know. I was like, this dude is out of his mind. Just ridiculous. After we separated, he tried to get with one of my best friends. Just sad. See how men would do you? Like, no, I would not did nothing with that guy. I would have not lost my virginity, my V card. I would have not lost my V card to this guy or anything like that. Like, no, he was toxic. He was no good and stuff like that. And after that time went by, and I wound up meeting my second ex, right? And he was a much older guy. he was like older than me. Like I was like, how old he was? Mr. We're gonna call him Mr. H. He was older. When I met him, he was like 32, and I think I was like what it was, like I was 23 or something like that, 23, 24, because I was with my first ex. We was together for like, what, 3 years, I think. Yeah, and then, yeah, I met him. So he was like a much older guy, way older than me. So I'm like, we met and stuff like that. We got to get to know each other. And I'm like, oh, he seems like a pretty nice, decent guy and stuff like that. And he was into like rapping. So like he was always in the studio rapping and stuff like that. And I do sing a little bit. I kind of got like a little voice. So I used to like do like hooks and stuff like on his songs. Like some of his songs I like used to do hooks, and I used to find it fun and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, this is a pretty good relationship. I really, really like him. It's really, really nice. It's going good and stuff like that. And he's an older guy, so I don't have to worry about things. It's a girl, worse. It was worse. Like, okay, everything was going good and stuff, like everything fine and stuff, going to the studio, listening to him rap and singing on some of his hooks for his songs and stuff like that, and everything was so perfect and dandy. Come to find out, he had skeletons in his closet. He was still messing around with his old female that he was messing with before my time, since his high school days. And come to find out, y'all, when I literally found out, this boy used to go in the restroom, right? And he is sit in the restroom. Sometimes you got to be mindful, too, about that. When they be in that restroom, and they be in that restroom for a long, long time, and they come out the restroom talking about, ooh, I had to take the number 2. It was just crazy. Got to watch out for stuff like that, because sometimes they don't be taking no number 2. They be in there on the phone with another woman. So you got to watch out for that. That be signs, too. But, one day, he used to always go in there, and I used to be like, he always take a long, long time in the restroom. So one day he was in there, and some say, go to the door. And I went to the door, and I was like hearing him talking to the girl and stuff, talking about, oh, I miss you, but you know, things is kind of complicated right now. I can't be with you right now. Why you can't be with her right now? Because what, you with me? But you still trying to talk to her on the side? No. And I bust that door open. I said, what you got going on? I said more than that, but I'm not finna curse on my channel, because I don't want to be cursing on my channel. But I was like, what you got going on and stuff like that? He was like, what you talking about? Like, when I tell you guys, he hurried up, and you know how somebody got their phone? He hurried up and he was like doing like that. Like he was trying to like get rid of his stuff in his phone so I wouldn't see it. I said, no, you can try to delete it all you want. I heard everything you was talking about. He was like, no, you didn't. I said, yes, you did. And y'all, you know, I was crying because I really, really thought this guy was the one for me. Like, I really thought he was like just gonna be it. That was just gonna be that and stuff like that. And so he was talking about, no, you didn't. I said, I heard everything, and I was crying. He was like, I'm sorry. This, and he started crying. Girl, if he cried too, don't even pay that no mind, because that don't mean nothing because he crying. He crying because he got caught. That's why he crying. He was crying and stuff like that. He was like, I'm sorry. He was holding me, hugging me. And you know, when you young, it's like, he like, you like, okay, well, he do care about me because he crying. And I forgave him and stuff, and I stood by his side, and like, he was, ooh, y'all, he was so toxic. He was like, he wanted a meal cook. He wanted this and this and that. And ain't nothing wrong with cooking for your man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I am a firm believer in cooking for your man and cleaning up. You don't have to tell me to cook and clean, because that's something that's just going to automatically happen. But still, he was like real bossy. And like, he didn't want me to do certain things or wear certain things. Look for them kind of traits too, because the guy try to be bossy and trying to tell you, oh, you can't do this, and oh, you can't wear this, and oh, you can't wear that. No. Unless it's just super thotty and stuff like that. But yeah, trying to be super bossy, and you can't do this, or you can't talk to this person, or you can't talk to that person, like, no. But anyway, it started going downhill, like the other relationship went downhill and stuff like that. one day we was arguing real bad, and this was the first time like he had hit me. Like he had literally hit me. Like literally hit. What did he have hit me like? When he hit me, it like hit at my shoulder, and I was like in a shock. Like, okay, oh no, we not about to do this. This is what I went through with the other guy. And I had told him, I said, you put your hands on me, that's it, I'm done with you. I'm not ever dealing with stuff like that. I dealt with that with my past relationship, and I'm not going to deal with that in this relationship and stuff like that. I said, I'm done. I started trying to get my clothes, and he was like, oh, I'm sorry, I would never do that and stuff like that. And it just kept going on, hitting, fighting, and this and that. Y'all, this dude was like so toxic. And I wound up meeting my husband because of this. Out of this dude, I wound up meeting my husband because he was just so toxic. He always was cheating. He always was cheating on me, doing things he didn't have no business, putting his hands on me, and I was dealing with it. Just, man, y'all, I'm telling you guys, don't do it, because you never know, you might wind up being a person that something might just bad just happen to. So I feel like if the guy is putting his hands on you, leave. And that goes for the men too. If a woman putting their hands on you, leave, because she probably crazy. Okay? But yeah, leave. But he was steady doing the same thing over and over and over. And then I wound up leaving him because I wound up meeting my husband. And I wound up leaving him. And like with me and my husband, we started talking and stuff like that. And I was done with him. Like, I had told him bye, because a bad incident had happened. Like, he had wound up finding my husband's number or whatever. He had called him and stuff like that. And it was just crazy. And I wound up leaving him anyway. It's a long story. But I wound up leaving. That's the first time he found out about his number and stuff like that. But one day, we got into it real bad. And he found the number in the phone. And that boy, when I tell you guys, that boy hit me so hard, y'all. Like, he hit me so hard, like the wind just came out of my stomach. Like, it was like, you know how you get hit so hard and you feel like you just cannot breathe? That's how it was. It was like I could not breathe. That's how hard he had hit me in my stomach. It felt like I could not breathe. And he had threw my phone. And y'all, when he left, he had told me that I was overreacting, I was faking. But guys, y'all, girl, he hit me so hard that tears fell out my eyes. Like, that's how hard he hit me. So as soon as he had left out the door, that's when I had called my husband, and I had told him everything. He was like, I'm coming right now. I'm coming right now. I swear, guys, it was like he came there like in 5 minutes. He came. He was like, do you need me to come up in there? So I come up in there right now and help you with your stuff. I said, nah, I don't want you to come here, because I don't want no drama. I don't want no mess with y'all and stuff like that. But that's how I wound up getting out that situation. Then me and my husband, we wasn't nothing serious or whatever. We was just talking and stuff. And I wound up, cause for the hurricane, I wound up leaving from my mom's house. That's when I had lied to my husband. But that's a long story. I got a story time about that, how I met my husband and stuff like that. Go look at that in another video about the stuff. But for hurricane or whatever, I wound up leaving and going back to the guy because my husband didn't tell me. He didn't ask me if I wanted to be with him for the hurricane. And the other one, he was like, oh, I'm sorry, come back and this and that. And you know, my dumb butt went back. I went back. Y'all, when I tell you, this guy was beating me, like he had locked me in the room and he was beating on me and everything. Y'all, I was trying to fight and everything, y'all, through the hurricane, right? So I was like, oh no. I said, oh no, girl, I got my girl. I started fighting that boy back. I was like, no, you're not gonna do me. I started fighting him back and stuff like that. And then I realized, like, you really messing up, shorty. Like, you coming back to this, and this is not good. This is very, very toxic. He can, like, literally hurt you really, really bad. You need to leave. And I left, and I never looked back. Never. And I hope I explained everything good enough. I hope, because I'm not good at explaining stuff details. I'm not really good at that kind of stuff, but hopefully I explained everything pretty good. But that's my worst experience that I dealt with a crazy ex, a toxic ex, a violent ex. Two. Like, ooh, Jesus. And the point of me telling my story is to let nothing bad happen to me. Like, I'm still here, and thank God that I am still here. But what if I wouldn't be still here? Then what? Like, I be thinking about that. So I hope this story touch you guys and make you realize that love is not always important when a guy is beating on you. And that's not love. So you need to leave. Even if they start with the shoving, because that's how sometimes it happens too. It'll start with the shoving, pushing you down on the floor, holding you down, not letting you leave out, locking you in the room. Like, that's how it starts. And you never know, it might just be a crazy dude that just might snap, because there's so many stories of women losing their lives over crazy dudes that's beating on them. And right now in this state that we in with this lockdown, it's been so many cases right now as we speak of men beating on their women. And I hope you guys, if you are going through this, I hope you leave. I really do. I hope that you don't stick with that. Like, it's not healthy. And you're just wasting your time to find Mr. Right. Why would you want to waste your time with a nobody sorry dude, and miss out finding your prince? Okay? But I hope this story touched y'all. That's just a crazy story time that I just wanted to tell you guys, because I know some of you asked me to do some story times. I mean, I know it's not a good story time, but it's a story time. Something that happened in my life, and I'm glad that I don't have to deal with anymore and stuff like that. And I hope this story touch you and help you. To the ones that are going through this, I hope it really did help you and touch you, even though it wasn't a dramatic, well, it really was, because the incident with me in that car, y'all, it was like I was seeing my my lights flash in front of my eyes. Like, that was it, because that dude was crazy. That dude literally was crazy. Like, he literally acted like he was gonna let me out the car and start driving off. Like, when I think about that, and I still had to stick around for that little bit after that, I'm like, what was wrong with you, Sade? Like, what was wrong with you? But that could have been my life right there. That could have been my life right there. So I hope you guys take heed to what I'm saying and just get out. Get out of it. It's not worth it. Forget about the love. Oh, I love him. He gonna change. No, baby. No. Don't risk waiting to see if he gonna change, because he might just never change. When that man, as soon as that man put his hands on you, that should be no. N-O, I'm gone, out the door. Even if the man is cheating, out the door. No, we're not finna deal with that. My loyalty is to you, and your loyalty should be to me, not to nobody else. Out the door. Finito. You feel me? Like, no. So, I hope you guys like this story. It's not a nice story, but it's my story and what I went through. But until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye. It's crazy.